All right. Well, for my 2 cents, I would say if you're just getting into homesteading and you want something, I would go with the poultry as well, either chickens or ducks. And if you're going to go with ducks, I like the Muscovy ducks. And in some places, Muscovy are considered a nuisance duck, and it's kind of a silly thing to even think about. Why would I raise that? I can go down to the pond and there's dozens of them. But the reason I say that is the housing, the feed, the water, all those are so much smaller. You can, if you just wanted 3 hens to lay eggs, it takes very minimal for you to start with. And definitely, if you go with the chickens, go with a dual purpose, one that you could enjoy the eggs, and either when that hen stops producing, or if you decide to incubate them, or you get a rooster and they go broody, whatever, and you have more chicks, and you can turn around and then eat the chicken. So I think starting off with a poultry is a good thing, and I definitely agree with Tommy that the Muscovy duck, if you ever actually have Muscovy duck meat, you'd just be amazed that that came out of a duck. So
Can you talk about that for a second? Because the only duck I've ever had in my life was in a turducken, and my wife and I were eating this thing and thought, what is this horrible flavor in here? And then that's duck. If you've never had duck, you might not like it. People either like it or hate it. But you have said that Muscovy is not like regular duck. It tastes more like beef or something.
Well,
yeah. It's got a red. It's a red meat.
Mm-hmm. Well, I tell you what, Tommy, you talk about that for a minute, and I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, it's in fact, in my early reading, Pepper, I found that scientifically or technically a Muscovy is not a true duck, but they call it a duck because they don't know what else to call it. But it roosts. It's got claws. But for the purposes of this discussion, it's red meat. Mm-hmm. And you can, in fact, we did this one time, still in Louisiana. Patty took the breast. They have a huge breast, and Patty took the breast and prepared it just like she would a venison roast. And I had some of the guys I was working with. It was a holiday, I think. They came over and had a meal with us, and we didn't tell them what it was, and until the end. And nobody knew that it was. Everybody assumed it was deer meat. Mm-hmm. And so if you prepare it like a roast, it tastes like a roast. We haven't tried this yet, but so I'm told is that you can actually cure it, and it's the words in the book were it's indistinguishable from ham.
Yeah.
It's just unique properties in the meat.
For me, who probably who doesn't like duck, doesn't like the flavor of that wild duck, you're saying that odds are I would not be that I would enjoy the Muscovy duck.
That's correct. And I'm gonna tell you this, Pepper. My son went duck hunting with my brother-in-law one time, and he brought me home a bunch of ducks, and I was so excited for the meat and everything. But after I tasted one, I told him to never bring another duck back home. They were awful. I did not like them. It don't even taste the same. I'm telling you, if you've had deer roast, you would not know the difference. It doesn't taste fishy or anything like that.
Now, in fairness, I'm told that wood duck is also good because they don't eat the fish that mallards or whatever eat. They eat acorns and things like that. So, but I don't know. I've never, to my knowledge, never tried one.
So I'm going to take the ultimate risk and try to put something on camera that I haven't chested before. So it's probably not going to show up very well. But this right here is 1/2 of a Muscovy duck, and that's easily an entire dinner for my 7-member family. And here's the other half of that same duck. So I mean, I can see it on mine. I don't know how well it's showing up to everybody else.
It shows up real good.
A red meat.
How old was that?
Yeah, we can see it.
I would
long
say
did you get
that's probably an 8-month-old duck. That was one of our very first ones. So, but yeah, I think it tastes great. I mean, we had one over the weekend that was just prepared in a crock pot. It was just some seasoning, half of a duck, and some potatoes and carrots. And if you didn't tell anybody, they would have thought they were eating roast beef. So,
I'm actually really considering getting ducks for my high tunnel to put in there for the wintertime to eat the insects. Because I was told that ducks, because they don't have claws, won't scratch up and damage the roots like a chicken would. But you're saying Muscovies have claws, so maybe that's
They have claws, but they don't scratch at the ground. I've never seen my ducks scratch up the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, they've got claws, and they'll scratch you up. But that's right. They don't scratch like a chicken or a turkey does.